Hi everyone, today's video is a little different than my normal, but something I thought I'd put together. If you ever thought about retiring early to the Philippines, or retiring at all, I wanted to talk about some things about the Philippines that you might not be aware of. The first thing you should understand is the Philippines is very friendly when it comes to visas. It is very easy to get a tourist visa on arrival and to extend that visa for quite a long time. You can also get spousal visas and different kind of retirement visas. They make it very easy. There's a lot of other channels out there that will tell you the specific type. I'm on a 13A. I married a Filipina, and that's the type of visa I use. And that visa allows me full residency here, just like any other Filipino. If you ever thought about retiring on the beach in Hawaii, but you don't have the Hawaiian dollars or the US money for it, the Philippines has beautiful beaches, and you can sit back and enjoy the tropics, listen to the ocean, eat fresh fish, and just have the time of your life. But not everyone wants to live on the beach, so there are other options. Philippines has modern cities. These cities like BGC, Makati, and Cebu have all the amenities you are probably used to in the Western world, if not more. They may cost a little bit more by Philippine standards, but you'll still find it at a great price. A lot of people come out here and they choose to live in the middle. They'll go out to a suburb or towards the province and they'll buy a house, build a house, or rent a nice Airbnb to give them all the look and feel of everything they wanted. Again, these kind of homes are so affordable compared to the US, you'll absolutely be amazed at what you can get for your dollar. If you're like me and you want a little adventure in your life and you want a lot more quiet pace, take the trip, head out to the province. Now, there's several different kinds of provinces out here. I chose a province that was a farming town, right? So it was more of a province that was geared towards agriculture and small community living, and I love it out here. It is extremely peaceful. There's no pollution, there's no noise. It is absolutely the wonderful life for me. Some people like a rest home out here, and it's great where you can just relax. Other people come out to the province and they go deep. They'll go out to the jungle and they'll have a place out in the middle of nowhere and they'll enjoy that lifestyle. So it all depends on your personality and what you like. But the Philippines does have things that you're probably familiar with. If you've lived in the Philippines, you've probably seen this, but if you have never been here, we have smog, we have pollution. Just like LA does or New York City does, there are parts of the Philippines that are not as desirable. However, you have to pick and choose because big cities come with big city problems. Poverty in the Philippines is an actual fact. There's poverty here and you're going to see it whether you're in the city or out in the province. Now, this can be said true for any Western civilization. Poverty in the U.S., homelessness in the U.S. is at an all-time high. So don't let the poverty and the rumors of poverty worry you too much because you're probably already used to that. Homeless people here have always been homeless, and it's hard to see them, but it's hard to see them in Portland or San Francisco or anywhere else in the U.S. or Western world. So you are going to have to deal with that. And traffic out here can remind you of the freeways of Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, right? Manila is a big city and it does have traffic. So if you don't mind the traffic and are used to it and you like the big cities, that's probably for you. For me, I like the province. There is no traffic, or it's very minimal, or it's only around 5 o'clock when everyone's hustling and getting out of work. But the traffic for me out in the province is the way to go, right? I have no fear driving traffic here. Philippines is known for natural disasters. Typhoons come through the Philippines quite regular. So with typhoons or hurricanes, if you're from the US and you're used to it, you have to be aware that there are going to be issues out here. And as a prepper, I actually make sure that I'm prepared. Flooding during the monsoon season happens. You have to be ready for any kind of floods. Now, this is nothing new to just the Philippines. If you're from the U.S., you're used to flooding and tornadoes and hurricanes. So as long as you're prepared and you know that these things will happen, then you shouldn't be stressing over it too much because you're prepared for it. Now, unique here for me is volcanoes. We have volcanoes that are active almost all the time in the Philippines. And with volcanoes, you can get an eruption, and we had one recently, and you can get ashfall, and breathing can be hard. And then these volcanoes will trigger earthquakes, or the earthquakes will trigger the volcanoes. So you have to be aware that we have these things. Now, again, coming from California, earthquakes are not new to me. So when I feel an earthquake out here, you know, I'm worried, but I'm not too worried because, again, I'm not in a high rise. Service interruption is a thing out here. So just like Flint, Michigan, where they don't have any potable water, Manila sometimes will have water shortages. So you have to plan ahead again. You have to make sure that if there's an outage or a scheduled outage coming, that you make sure you have enough water on hand. A lot of people out here in the Philippines will tell you brownouts occur, especially in the summertime when power usage is very high. If you're from California or Texas or anywhere in the U.S., you're familiar with rolling brownouts. So it is something that you will have to consider while you're out here in the Philippines. Again, these are things that you should be prepared for just like you should be anywhere else. But the thing that I like about the Philippines is the natural beauty. Now, we have the parks in the U.S., and the Philippines has just as beautiful places to hike, to climb. The air quality and the natural beauty out here can be just absolutely stunning. If you're a scuba diver, the Philippines has some of the best scuba beaches and spots in the world. Absolutely fantastic diving in beautiful water. It's absolutely a world wonder out here, and I recommend everyone try diving out here. If you're a little bit older like I am, I kind of like the glamping. I don't mind going out for a night or a weekend and kind of roughing it for a little bit. But there's all these options out here as well, and you get to experience a lot of the different natural beauty that you have here in the Philippines. There's a waterfall almost everywhere you go. You'll trip over a waterfall, and they're all unique and they're all beautiful. Me, as a retired guy, I like the fact that I can just take a nap whenever I want. I can relax, I can plan things, I can change plans. That's the whole point about being retired and having options. One of the good things about retiring here out in the province is I have access to extremely fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, and fish. I've been able to change my diet dramatically by not eating fast food and a lot of junk. Most of our food is home cooked. Now, I will splurge every once in a while for a Subway sandwich if we're in Manila, but normally I'm eating a lot of fresh vegetables and extremely fresh meat and fish. The Philippine food out here, the cuisine, is something I'm actually happy with. You know, it took a while, but I got used to it, and we're good. Now, the one thing I'll tell you about the Philippines is it's a friendly place. People here are extremely friendly. Whether they're poor kids or older people you see outside or just your workers, most people here are extremely friendly. Everyone will tell you people in the Philippines are just happy and friendly, and I find that true for the most part. I find that the Philippine extremely values family, right? You know, family gathering out here are huge, and everyone shows up, and it's typically a great thing. The Philippines also respect their elders. Elders are not tossed away in old folks' home like they are in the U.S. or left alone on their own. They're actually brought back into the homes, and they're taken care of. They are an active part of most Filipino families. I find that to be extremely nice. Philippines love a parade. Philippines has a very diverse culture, depending on the part of the Philippines you're in, but there is almost always a parade of some kind. You can catch a parade just about every day of the week, even out in the provinces. The Philippines love to celebrate, they love to dress up, they love to dance and show off. So if you're in the Philippines, take a time out and watch some of the cultural activities they have out here. It's actually pretty impressive. Now, a lot of retirees would be curious about their medical care and health care. If if you have medical issues, I would recommend staying near one of the larger cities where they have more of the advanced medical stuff. However, I live in the province and I had my appendix burst out here, and I had a wonderful experience, if you can claim having your appendix burst being wonderful. All the nurses I met out here were absolutely awesome. The nurses out here really are compassionate, and they really understand that you're not happy to be in the hospital, and they do whatever they can to make you feel comfortable. The doctors out here are extremely well trained, and I absolutely was shocked by how inexpensive it was to have a medical procedure done out here. I have a video on that if you want to go back and check that out, but it's nice. Now out here, crime in the Philippines is a lot less than the United States, and I mean by huge factors. You might hear about crime out here, but that's nationally. Crime out here is absolutely minimal in my personal experience of being here 9 years. All the policemen I've met, they've all been respectful, they've all been nice. You will find that security at 7-Eleven, banks, grocery stores, malls might be a little bit higher than you're used to experience in the United States. And this is to deter crime, but it also is there because crime does happen, all right? But most of the crime I've seen out here was related to petty thefts and poverty and things of that nature. One thing I'll tell you for sure is you don't want to commit crime in the Philippines and get caught. The jails out here are not what you're going to be used to, and you can sit in jail for quite a long time. So take a look at this picture and you'll understand you do not want to be there. However, where you want to be is in the Philippines relaxing, whether it's in the big city that has all the modern amenities you'd expect, and that includes all your favorite brands, the huge malls, and everything else that comes along with the big city. Philippines has multiple modern cities to actually live in. It's cheap to get a condo. Depending on which part of the city you want to live in, it's extremely affordable. I prefer out in the province, and that's even more affordable. Now, there's no nightlife, or it's very limited, but the pace is nice and slow. You're not dealing with a lot of things. You have a nice, easy, enjoyable retirement, and you have access to nature. I love nature. I love going out and checking things. If you're a beach bum and you love the beaches, the Philippines has a ton of beaches, and you can absolutely find extremely affordable places to live and retire that has direct access on the beach itself, as in 50 feet from the beach. So my whole point is, if you're thinking about retiring in the Philippines, I highly recommend it. Retire early if you can. Make a plan and take whatever precautions you need. Come out and visit and enjoy the rest of your life. Thank you.